We can cut this out. We can cut this out. But anyway, look, I'd just like to say thank you so much to all you guys as well for coming along. There's so many people in the room who have supported us right from day dot. I mean, maybe one of the 8 people who downloaded the first ever episode the first week, because I couldn't understand who had done it, Angus.
It wasn't me.
But, you know, that's what we've got. We've got a great group of people. There's a lot of people in this room who are good pals of the pod now, really familiar faces, some great people from the whiskey industry, but also people who have maybe followed us through the journey that we've been on. And it's been really good. But more importantly, we've got drams in front of us. We've got plenty to do. Now, normally I ask Angus to do this, but everybody in the room, you know what to do. Clap us in! That was rubbish. That was absolutely rubbish.
That wasn't great.
That was, honestly. Right, Angus, you know what to do. Clap us in. Welcome to the Whisky Stories Big Birthday Bash at Mass! Wow, lads, we've done it.
We have.
Aye.
2 bloody years.
2 bloody years. Happy birthday to us, eh? We've got drams on the table, but we've also got birthday presents on the table as well.
Cards as well, presents.
Yeah, people
all
are.
sorts of gifts. Very, very generous people that have come along tonight.
Aye, I mean it's a bit wild to think that we are sitting here in front of our biggest audience that we've ever done. We are recording the podcast tonight. It's a live recording, technically kind of like an indie bottler spotlight. I do have to go through a little bit of housekeeping tonight as well. What we'll be doing this evening is we'll be having our drams and our drinks, and then we'll go back up to the bar, and some of the drams will be re-poured for us, and we'll be coming back. We'll be doing 2 at a time. It saves us trying to get 8 or 6, 7, however many drams we're going to. I'm still waiting for somebody else to go, that's me, got a couple of bottles for you for tonight, because we've got a lot. It's been even up to the last 24, 40 hours. Shout out to Connor O'Keefe, actually. Where are you, Connor? Back there he is. Message Connor on the 7th of October saying, would you be up for this? And never heard from him for a month. And I thought, well, that's Holyrood out. And I went away and got a load of other folk. And then he messaged me 2 days ago. That's me, got 2 bottles, by the way. So we're here, lads. It's our birthday bash.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I mean, I think 2 years ago, it was just the 3 of us in a room, 8 downloads, and here we are. We've sold out Uno Mass.
Yeah, we have. 55 folk in the room tonight, Ross. When I was pestering you, after Big Cam said no to us and we went to you instead, did you ever think you'd be sitting here where you are now?
I thought I wouldn't know you. That's 2 years later, I thought it was very unlikely we would be friends. But it's all worked out.
Yeah.
It's all worked out. In that first episode, it's so funny. I actually went back and decided to listen to it recently. We were terrible. I think it's quite interesting when new people find the pod and they go back and listen to the old episodes. We just were so excited. We're all just so excited to speak to each other about drams. But a few pals and a few drams can go a long way.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And so for what we've done now and been to distilleries and done all the indie bottler spotlights that I never really turned up for, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I made a really terrible decision last night. So I was at the HIT. So actually I was at a charity lunch today. But I was at an award ceremony, SLTN, last night, and accidentally won a lot in the silent auction.
All right. Money bags here, eh? Spent all the birthday money already, have you?
So I had to work out how exactly my current wife is here.
Wow.
Kennedy's come along.
She exists. Wow.
She does exist, thank you very much. I really thought, how would I explain this to Kennedy? Because I accidentally, with Curtis Moran, previous guest, also my Scotch colleague, I accidentally bought a yacht for 11 people.
Wait a minute. The size of Ross Bar. Was this yacht in a bottle?
Ah, very good. Yeah, we accidentally spent £4,600 of our own money.
How drunk were you?
Pretty drunk by the end of it. On a yacht for 11 people for 3 nights.
Right.
So Whisky Stories go yachting. We can expense that, right? Seriously, about midnight last night, somebody came up to us and said, "Oh, by the way, you've won." What we won? I didn't realise we bid for it, man.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, there you go.
£4,600.
So we're on a yacht.
So there you go. That's an exclusive.
How long have we got to use this yacht?
And
where is it? Where are we yachting about?
It's in Mallorca. So
Can you say
Lawrence and Sandra, you'll come to that, won't you? We've got first two that are coming.
Yeah.
Whisky Stories Go Yachting.
So that's probably the worst thing that I've been involved in a long time.
You've got
Since starting this podcast.
You've got a pair of boat shoes, Angus, haven't you?
Well, actually, I did hire a boat in Cornwall, which
Perilo.
my current wife very nearly became my former wife in that 2-hour experience.
There we go.
And
Well, there's you can't-
me in the open sea with a...
Chuck's rubbing his hands together. He's like, we could go scuba diving.
Shame can't equalise.
But look, we found Chuck as well. Like, so it was the three of us, and we get guests on and things like that. And Chuck, you've become a big part of the podcast.
I mean, a fairly silent part of the podcast, I'd say. But, like,
But
I'm
it's
here.
gold. It's gold.
So- oh, thanks, man.
I mean, when you
Glad my rage is appreciated somewhere.
yeah.
Do you know what's really interesting? You won't see this even if you listen to the podcast. Is generally about 10 minutes after we stop recording a podcast, Chuck will ask whoever we've got on the podcast the best question in the night. I say, oh, do you know, I really wanted to ask this. Well, I'm
it's
glad
hard
we
to
stopped
get-
recording.
Sometimes it's really hard to get a word in.
That's fair. That's fair.
Aye. Okay.
I think Graeme and I can probably concede that a little
Shut
bit.
up, Ross. That's what Scott Moore would be saying if he's here. And by the way, shout out to Scott Moore, who's coming along to. He's coming to Scotland
From Tennessee.
Yeah.
from Tennessee. He's coming in 2 weeks' time, isn't it?
Our US ambassador.
He is coming over to the brand home, Diggers, and we're going to get him in. So he has asked, open invitation. I think there's a Friday or a Saturday where he's happy to say, drams and diggers. Scott will be listening to this, so he said he'll cover the bar bill. If you're coming all this way, Scott, you might as well. So yeah, big shout out to Scott. But also, I want to say as well, a big shout out to Kev McGee, who he couldn't make it tonight, right? But it was his actual birthday yesterday.
yeah.
Thursday, yeah. So it's a bit too self-indulgent for the Whisky Stories podcast to sing happy birthday to ourselves. But what I do want to say, because he's absolutely gutted he couldn't make it here tonight, we're going to sing happy birthday to the best landlord
On earth.
on earth. I mean, what he lets us get away with. He will let us sit in his whiskey vault and let Ross just pick a dram off the shelf and go, I'll help myself to a bit of this.
Yeah,
And he'll put little sticky notes on that, but he doesn't mean it. He's just a very, very, very easy, laid-back guy who looks after us absolutely fantastic. I can't thank him enough
Sorry,
for
Kev.
that. But you know, Kev, if you had a bigger snug, you'd have had this in your place.
That's true.
But shall we sing happy birthday to Kev, even though he's not here? Right, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kev from
Kev and the
Diggers.
Whisky Stories podcast.
Happy birthday to you. 3 cheers for Kev. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Long may the 35mm measures live on. That's for sure, because absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. But we are going to get our first guest up because we are drinking drams tonight. So we're getting our first guest up and we're going to swap Chuck out and bring in Hazel McLeod. Hazy drams. Hazel, as she once called herself on the podcast. Here she is.
No, we'll have that down.
Hazy.
Hazel, that's it. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Brilliant.
It's amazing we convinced you. Were you episode 2?
3.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Episode 3,
three.
actually one of the best episodes we had done because it was the first episode we ever had that you could make it.
I couldn't make it.
Yeah,
Great.
it was a bit weird because episode number 1 was the 3 of us, episode number 2 was us 3 and Kev, and then episode number 3 was Angus, myself.
Oh no, I
and-
remember because Hazel was raging because I've got her to come on the podcast.
That's
and not
correct.
turned up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hazel, you were episode number 3, but actually I'll still maintain this, and if you look back, you're actually still within the top 5 listened to episodes of the Whisky Stories podcast.
My ego is so inflated.
There you go. But tonight we're drinking drams, and the first dram we have up, we're trying to look at like what we put on tonight and how we can make it work. And we had you on when you talked about the woven competition, the highball competition,
Yes.
which we then tried to enter ourselves. I think I did a woven and
didn't
tonic
look very
and stuff. That
appetizing.
Nicole, that was the episode you were on, Nicole, actually.
Woven and it was elderflower, was it? not?
Woven elderflower tonic, a bit of lemon and some lime. Was
That's exotic.
And some really small ice cubes as
Yeah,
well.
that was it.
It was
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, it was. Well, you said it wasn't too bad, but the reason is, that competition was bars across Scotland. Was it just Scotland or UK?
Just across Scotland.
Just across Scotland. Bars across Scotland putting together their highball for woven, and the highball that we've had, if you've already drank it tonight, was the winner of that competition. And this is the Sunshine on Leith. Is that correct?
It is indeed.
And it was the winner.
Ben's creation from here. And yeah, he won the award. Most highball sold in Scotland
Yes.
over the period of time. So
And yeah.
well done on you, lads.
And Greg Urquhart's sitting there looking at me, and we're going, we played our part in that. Because I can't remember what we had been at or what had happened, but I tell you when it was. It was at your previous employer had done I think your previous employer had done an evening in here that we ended up staying.
Yeah.
And I had, what was great was they had a wee machine set up that every time they sold one, a little number went back.
You could press
You could press the button. And then
Well,
I
it's also
started pressing the button so I could get, I was pressing the button to get another one. And I had a lot of sunshine on Leith that night, and it was
What was
fantastic.
great
It was
about
lovely.
those machines was the delay from when you push the button. So you'd be like, oh, yeah, it's like number 600 highball. And it would take about a good 5 minutes for it to load. So
Really?
you could drink your highball and then have another one in that time. So you just keep pressing
Well,
that
we were
button.
doing that, Greg. Yeah, it was a great night. Midweek as well. Work was fun the next day, but
Yeah.
an absolute crack. So what do we know the breakdown of this?
You know what it is?
I know it's woven homemade that's in it, so
Brilliant.
are all Scottish blend. And I believe there's pineapple soda and then something else.
And it's very tasty. Is it all gone now? Is everyone got through it? Very tasty, worthy of the winner. And what did they win?
They won a trip to Japan,
Ooh.
courtesy of Woven Whiskey.
And have
Wow.
they been yet?
They have indeed. They were there last month, or maybe the month before.
Oh, wow.
So themselves and then the Voodoo Rooms up the road as well. Ones they won based on their highball experience. Unomas won based on volume, and then we hosted 4 bartenders across the 2 bars over in Japan for about 5 days, I think it was.
Brilliant.
So it was just taking them on on the highball journey through Japan where it all started. So
Absolutely.
I
And
was gutted that I wasn't allowed to.
were you not
go,
allowed to host them
but-
or anything like that? No. But the exciting thing is because Angus and I were kindly invited to the Woven launch of Pure Malt
Yes.
at Ardfern in Leith. We were there. Mark Thompson, you were there with the Whiskey Dogs as well. There was quite a lot of people, and a lot of people who were there with their camera phones
Yeah.
and looked like they were there for content. You know, we were meant to play our part, and we just ended up doing a sniff it, slurp it, score it on
Your
an oyster.
content was incredible.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 content. We're seeing it across the table, and I was like, I want to move closer to where they are. They're having
Well,
fun with
appreciate
their
that.
oysters and pure malt, pure class.
Yeah.
Pure good time.
It was good. It was a very nice night. But how's Woven getting on? What's happening with Woven? What's going on? Because this is the first release of Pure Malt where there's no grain whiskey used in it.
No grain whiskey. So we did our dinner last week,
2 weeks ago, I think.
2 weeks ago. Should be available to buy within the next week or so. But this is, our first blend that we've done with just pure malt in it. So 4 different malts from all over the world.
Yeah.
We've got Scottish malt in there. We've got some Taiwanese, some Indian, and then some
Australia.
Australia as well.
Yeah.
Good. You were listening. Well done.
I
So 4 malts blended together just to play on how blends were way back in the day when it was just malt before we
Yeah.
discovered grain whiskey and how delicious that can be as well. So we've done it in a green frosted bottle, so it looks a little bit different to our normal ones. But
Yeah.
it's just a play on the old times, old soul, but a new lease of life to it.
Very good.
So,
Very tasty. And also, Ross, you fell in love on the podcast with something that you didn't think you would fall in love with.
I thought I had to bring that tonight.
WXC. I got pished drinking this in Kev's Digger's cellar. In fact, the homemade that he had on the table, that was on the table for that podcast, I assumed Hazel had brought along. Actually, no, it was Kev's that he put up there for display. And about 40 minutes into the podcast, you see me opening that bottle and helping
Yeah.
myself. So Kev messaged me the day after, being like, "You've just drank half a bottle of my whiskey."
Now, it's interesting that you're
But this was so good. Coffee, whiskey, demerara sugar. It's just a belter.
That is. It's just when you watch that episode of the podcast as well, it's just the size of drams that you're pouring yourself on
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, how did we make it to the end?
There's no denying I am a greedy boy, as you can see.
what makes you like that? You know? But I mean,
Wowzers. That was a proper wowzers dram.
But you're because that contains coffee.
Yeah.
So, because I will not have coffee after 2 o'clock in the afternoon because you'd have to scrape me off the ceiling at 10, 11 o'clock at night. So you're having these drams at 7, 8, 9 o'clock that night.
I'm always on the ceiling.
your current wife's here. Can you remember that Kennedy when he came home? He must have been high as a kite and steaming at the same time.
There's a few too many times.
A few too many times. Oh wow! Oh,
That's your fault, by the
is
way.
that a wee tug of the lead there, Ron? But brilliant. But I mean, the thing I like about going back to the pure malt is we talked about it with Simon Smith when we went out to we recorded an episode, Angus, at the Lost Close.
Yeah.
With Simon Smith.
We got lost trying to find the lost close.
We did. And the thing about that was we talked about the B word, blends, right? And how a blend, that word can so easily put so many people off of drinking whiskey. There's a lot of people, myself included, when you look back, I probably was guilty of it at the time before we started the podcast, being like, blends can't be that good. Everyone's drinking single malt's the way to go, etc., etc. But actually, you know, we made a point of it on the podcast. We had a 25-year-old, it was 25-year-old Grants that we had for the very first episode as a blend. But what we talked about was whether can you take the B word out of blended malt and come up with another name so that people, because that's one of the great things, is when you speak to someone who maybe says, oh, I only drink single malt, I don't like blends. Say, well, maybe you could say to them, well, see that blend that you're drinking? It's actually just blended malt, so it's just only single malt that's in it. It could even be a teaspoon dram. No offence, Woody.
No comment.
But it could just be a teaspoon dram, which is technically a blended malt, right? But it's only got 5 ml of whiskey in it, Angus. That's all a teaspoon holds.
A teaspoon is 5 ml.
Yeah.
A tablespoon is 50 ml.
There you go.
I was wrong.
So thanks for that, Angus. But oops. But basically,
Stop playing with that.
it's the blend. It's the B word that people get put off with. So we came up. I think we talked about it, and we said pure malt was something we talked about.
Although pure malt has a checkered past in the
Yeah.
whiskey industry.
But multi-malt was what we came up with. It was rename it multi-malt. Right? And that's basically, so people know it's just, that's 100% multi-malt. But that also, because I think that helps. If you said it's multi-malt, Scotch whiskey, and I mean, I think we're on the back foot tonight trying to talk to the SWA about what they should be putting on labels, considering what we're about to do later on this evening.
True.
But it leads us on to our second dram. And our second dram tonight that you've got in front of us is the Whisky Stories Podcast 25-year-old blend, bottled by Rare Find. The man who is behind that, Greg, he's over there. Big shout out to Greg. Do you want to come up, Greg? Are you all right? Aye, up you come. Squeeze in, Hazel. We'll share a microphone. But yeah, Greg contacted me, and here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Greg Urquhart. Greg, you were one of the first guests on the podcast. You were episode number 8 or 9. You were in the top 10. First 10, sorry. But you explained us about blending, because the Whiskey Row product for Glenmore Spirits, who you work with, was, you know, it's a big thing. We were talking about blended whiskey again, and you were saying, like, crafting flavour. That's what you get to do when you... And I've been at a blending experience that you've hosted, where you've got 3 or 4 different single malts in front of you, different flavour profiles, and you can decide how it goes. And that, to be able to do that, is just an excellent...
It's one of the coolest jobs in whiskey.
Yeah.
That was a good event, actually.
Yeah.
You were there. It was some of the crowd. We had to help them out the door at the end of the night. Please blend responsibly.
Yeah, always blend responsibly.
That's what I would say. Always remember your dilution was the other thing. But yeah, it was great to be on one of your earlier episodes and be invited back, because I think I was more nervous than you guys, to be honest.
No, it was great. But we talked about the importance of blending. That it's played a huge part in the history. I mean, even to this day, the people in this room probably don't appreciate, because I still can't fully appreciate that. Well, maybe some people will, but like the whiskey industry stands on blends at the moment, you know. And it isn't until you hear and see what's actually going on. We see the single malts, we see the stuff that's happening on trade, all that kind of stuff. But what we don't see is the deals in the background where people are buying thousands of litres of bulk liquid that are getting blended. Blenders are trading it over, moving things around, and that keeps the lights on for a lot of companies in the whiskey industry.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's not just now; it's been forever. The industry's been built on that kind of the history of blending, and long may it continue. I mean, other brands in the room tonight are carrying that on. Woven and Woodrow's and all the other people in the industry that are here, they'll have some sort of blend in their portfolio, and we'll borrow and swap with each other, and it's just part of the industry. We all help each other out, but ultimately somebody has to have the fun job sitting and trying to put these blends together.
It's tough, it's tough for you. It's tough.
Our 69 bottles of the Whisky Stories blend has contributed to keeping the whiskey industry.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
And that's it. And tonight we're all part of that.
And I think the Scottish national football team had the 25-year-old blend.
Yeah, so
and this was the sister.
It was a sister cask, so it was one of the low-fill sister casks. So we, I spoke about it on the podcast at the time, so I'm not going to go too much into it tonight because there's a lot to get through for you guys. But it was a parcel of pre-blended stock that we bought in that was in wood, and this was one that was one of the lower fills. The consistency across the whole kind of range of casks that we got in was very, very good. So much so that we bottled one with the Scottish national team, and then we're speaking with the guys at the podcast, and the opportunity came up to do the kind of collab bottling, and Graeme demanded on 69 bottles for some reason. I don't know what that was all about, but
He's a child, that's true.
yes, absolute child. But yeah,
That's not true, by the way. I just want to clarify, because my current wife's listening.
It is amazing, and I'm imagining in this room there's quite a few people that have owned a bottle of this 25-year-old blend. Put your hand up if you bought a bottle of this 25-year-old blend.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very
That's
much.
great.
You've
It's
paid for a
amazing.
yacht. You paid for half a yacht. Now you need to buy Woodrow's handful so we can get the other half sorted out.
That's a good point. But that's amazing, and it's one of those. It's one of those products that I've got another unopened bottle of it, and I just don't know when I'm gonna bring up a reason to open it, because this podcast has been 2 years. This podcast and doing the first blend and doing the first release. It was kind of a punch me moment when we done that for the first time.
It was.
I thought it was a really stupid idea.
Aye.
And actually, I believe it was decided on my stag.
Yeah.
Between
on the
you
top
two.
of a bus, an open top bus in Edinburgh, and you had a squirrel hat on, and it seemed like a really important meeting at the time.
That's
Here
just
we
that
are.
bit of insight people won't understand. Genuinely, there's maybe 20 of us out for my stag do, and we're at the top of a Edinburgh city tour bus, and you two are going, aye, Graeme's going, aye, we'll sell 70 bottles, no problem, no problem at all.
We've still got about half a carload left. No, in fact, we actually have, I counted them out today, we have 4 bottles left. 2 of them went behind the bar for tonight. There's that bottle there, and I have bottle number 1 in the house, which I'll be keeping for that sentimental value.
Nice.
And it is wild until you see a bottle with, and Greg, you've had that where even like your signature's on a bottle now. You know, there's bottles out there around the world that people are drinking that have been signed off by yourself for your job.
It should really bring the price down, shouldn't it? But it is quite a surreal,
Well, I mean,
it's
because
a surreal
originally
thing.
you couldn't spell your name, so you had to put the thumbprint on the bottom to start with. Was that?
The thing is, the signature, I gave my signature to the designer, and they were like, "We've fixed your signature." I'm like, "No, that's my signature." They were like, "Yeah, but we fixed it." All right, okay, fair.
There we go. But look, we've got, like you say, the woven highball, absolutely fantastic, and you know, because of the limited edition and how limited release of it, sometimes you're more reluctant to tap into the bottle, like what you were saying, Ross. So I don't often get a chance to drink it. I've had a few times behind the bar at Tigger's. Kev is very good at putting it there, but really just easy going. And is it Speyside? Am I right in saying
It's 43.8%, so it's natural strength, so nice kind of concentration of flavour. There's not been any additional dilution there, but it's absolutely just a lovely, easy drinking sherry dram. Can't go into the components in it. As I've talked about before, some of these things we can't really go into, but it just stands up on its own. It didn't need any intervention from me. It was just the right time to bottle it.
Yeah. So it could be 90% Macallan for all we know.
You said that, not me. In fact, are your lawyers here, Woody?
There might be some people in the room that have never had it before until tonight. Any wanky tasting notes on the Whisky Stories 25-year-old blend? I'm looking at you, Jake Adcook.
Don't ask him. He'll slaughter it. He'll slaughter it. Like, first of all, I just want to say I wouldn't drink this much rubbish.
Mike Brown will have something for us. Mike, what did you think of it?
It's pretty good, man. Yeah, it's classic sherry, raisins, lots of toffee, really nice.
Yeah, juicy.
Not wanky enough.
No, absolutely.
Well, we'll get there. It's too early. We've only had a couple of drinks.
Stewed fruits.
Stewed fruits. There we go. Well, look, thank you very much to Greg and Hazel there.
Thanks
The
for
dram's
coming
been
on.
absolutely fantastic.
Really
Let's hear it
appreciate
for them. Well done. Thank you. Now,
Do we call Chuck back up, or is somebody else coming on now?
Well, we're gonna stop for a quick break to replenish our drinks and get more drams. But it would not be a birthday party without some party games. So who's ready to play Player Distilleries Right? Way! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do is all stand up if you are able. Up we get.
Me too.
Mind your heads if it's a bit of low ceiling. Okay. What we're going to be doing here this evening is we're going to be playing a little game of higher or lower, right? Now, if you think it's going to be higher, you need to put your hand on your head. If you think it's going to be lower, you need to put your hand on your bum. If you are right, you stay standing. If you are wrong, you sit down. If you win, you will win a prize. Brilliant. You're getting the memo. Fantastic. So, first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing Player Distilleries Right. Now, seeing as Dougie was good enough to help us out with the glassware, I went on a Royal Mile Whiskies website this afternoon and I looked at their bottles for under £50. We've played this game on the podcast before, okay? Bottles under £50, and I found the 10 lowest price bottles, okay? And I'm going to start with...
Dougie should be issuing for this, eh?
Dougie should...
No pressure, Dougie.
No pressure.
He only knows trade. He only knows trade. So we're going to start with W.L. Weller Reserve. Ross, do you know much about that?
William Lou Weller, that's a bourbon.
That's a bourbon. And it's
Did you know that?
£33 and 95 pence. But I want you to tell me, do you think Leith Table Whiskey is higher or lower
Hands on your head for high.
than that? £33 and 95 pence, higher or lower? Let's see your hands on your head or hands on your backside.
So hands on your head for lower, hands on your back.
Hands on your head for higher, hands on your arse for lower, backside for lower. Okay, we're ready? Angus, tell me, is it higher or lower?
Oh, it is lower. It is £32.
It's lower. All the higher, sit down.
High risk strategy there, Mike. I don't hate it.
Okay, so we're now on the Leith Grain Table Whiskey at £32 and 36 pence.
Great price.
But I'm going to ask you, do we think the Annock 12, is higher or lower than £32 and 36 pence? Higher or lower? Higher or lower? It's higher. It's higher. The lower sit
I'll let you
down,
away with that,
please.
Megan. That was close.
We've not lost
That
a
was
few
really
there. We've not
close.
lost anyone there. Right, we're on the Annock 12 at £34 and 16 pence. But we're going to go for the Lejeune Sinclair Rioja cask. Lejeune. Lechig, that'll do.
Can't help myself.
Thank you, Ross. Shut up, Ross. So, Annock 12, we're going for the Lechig Sinclair Rioja cask. Higher or lower? Let's see, higher or lower?
And 34.
30, we're sitting at right now, £34.16.
Okay.
Higher or lower? Higher or lower? What are we going for?
Is it on shield a minute?
Is it-
Tell me it's lower.
It's higher, £34 and 18 pence. 2 pence.
I'm raging. I can't believe
I'm
that.
now looking around the room going, we might have to get more whiskey for this one. 'Cause you guys are getting pretty good at this. Right, so we're on the Lejeune Sinclair, but we're going to go the Glenmurray Twisted Vine, higher or lower? Glenmurray Twisted Vine. Is the Glenmurray Twisted Vine higher or lower? It's lower, £24, 66 pence.
Oh,
God, somebody get this wrong.
Mark Thompson getting that wrong there. Just
Right.
That's Mark who's just bought half of Perth.
How is the estate, Mark?
One of the best episodes ever, by the way, the selling of Mark Thompson's house episode.
Still waiting on our commission. Right, so we're on Glenmurray Twisted Vine, £24, 66 pence, and we're going to go Sazerac Rye Whiskey. Sazerac Rye Whiskey, higher or lower?
You're in trouble, Graeme.
I know, fuck. It's higher, well done. Nobody sat down there, did they? Fuck's sake. Right, Sazerac Rye, we're going Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare Bourbon, higher or lower? £32.95.
Oh, that's going to be close.
Eagle Rare, higher or lower?
Megan, you actually decide. You just put whatever he puts. He says higher, you touch your head.
It's higher!
Well done.
There we go. Right, we're on Eagle Rare at £33.26.
Still quite a few people left here.
I know, I really
Wait
need
as soon as is out. No shot.
Oh, well, I don't drink that.
We're going to go, so we're on Eagle Rare. We're going to go for the Tomatin 12. Higher or lower? So we're on £33.26. Higher or lower?
It's got to be more.
It is higher. It's £35.96.
Unlucky Nicole.
Okay. But we're going to go now from Tomatin 12 at £35.96 to Bunnahabhain Moyne.
Oh.
Higher or lower? Higher or lower for the Bunnahabhain Moyne?
Oh,
Is
it's
the
split the
Bunnahabhain
room.
Moyne higher or lower? Make your mind up. It's lower. It's sitting there at £32.36.
How many we got left
How many
here?
got stand up? 1, 2, 3.
4, 5. Charles
Chuck,
Kerr is
sit
still in.
down, mate. You're not winning anything. Fuck's sake, Chuck. Right. Is there anyone else behind the pillar? No. Right. We'll get everyone out. Who's in chat? Who's going just now? Let's
That's
get
it. The 4 to the front,
When you
please.
come to the front, yeah.
So we're on Bunnahabhain Moyne at £32.36. Let's hear it for our players. Fantastic.
Great looking bunch.
Final four.
Yeah, you guys
Final
know.
five.
Oops,
Final
there's our
five.
camera. Don't worry. I've dropped that at Glengoyne as well. That's okay. Right, so we're on Bunnahabhain Moyne at £32.36. But what I want you to tell me is Glengoyne 12 higher or lower?
Well, he works for the brand.
Higher or lower?
A lot of pressure on you, Jake.
I'm just going to guess it.
We're going higher. So we've got 3 left in now.
Do you have any whiskies left?
I've got a few. I've been making them up for the last 5. Right, we're on Glengoyne. £37.76.
Oh, that's expensive.
Is it higher or lower than a Ben Romack 10?
Romack 10, is it?
Ben Romack 10 is lower. We're down to the last 2.
Hazy. Still in the game here.
And would you believe it, ladies and gentlemen, I've run out of drafts.
2 winners.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to the Royal Mail Whiskey website right now.
But
Right.
this is a lot because somebody has to go higher and somebody has
Well, this is it. Now,
So this is a decider. This is a crucial draft.
so we're sitting right now on Ben Romack 10, which is at £36.86. I could be really cruel here.
If he finds a woman,
Be really cruel.
Shall I? No, I'm not going to be really cruel.
Be a little bit cruel then.
Right. Okay. Shall I be cruel?
yes.
All right, okay. Ben Romack, £36.86. But is woven homemade higher or lower? Right.
Woven
Are
homemade.
you a gentleman?
Ladies first.
Are we going higher or lower? Okay.
Oh.
It's higher. It's £37.76. Congratulations. Well done there. You got yourself a wee bottle there. Fantastic. Excellent. Well done. Everyone's a winner at the Whisky Stories Podcast. Cheers, Aidan. I didn't want to be cruel. They said to be cruel. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop for a quick break there. If you head to the bar, take your glassware with you. You will get served with your next 2 drams.
Providing wanky tasting notes since 2023.
There you go. Brilliant. Thank you so much for that. And also, thanks for just being really, really helpful and friendly the podcast as well. And a shout out to Bob Cutting, who's wished everyone all the very best tonight. He'll be getting ready to record his Whiskey Shed rugby update for the Whisky Stories Facebook group. But Bob actually came up a couple of weeks ago and we recorded a wee bit with him. Angus and I were in there and Moira came over and just, found out that Bob's daughter was turning 18 very soon and gave her a nice wee present and everything like that. So fantastic. Thank you very much, Moira. That's great. Excellent. And thanks for supporting the podcast.
This, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes as well. So.
Is that our first Christmas card?
Christmas card. I have to admit, I don't know if I necessarily approve of Christmas cards in November, but
Thanks,
thank you
Moira.
very much.
I mean, we will see you before Christmas, Moira. But listen, thank you very much for that. Now, we we do have some drams on the table now. We've got ourselves a new dram, and guys, we started 2025 with a little bit of like a challenge. We kind of said, look, let's see what we can do here, and let's do a little bit of let's see if we can get into distilleries.
Yeah, that was a big aim.
Yeah, and Angus, you and I had been to Eden Mill, which technically
we'd been outside a construction site.
Yeah, exactly. So we recorded an episode with Chris, who's actually married to his current wife is my current cousin.
Welcome to Fife.
Welcome. I fucking walked in that one, didn't I? There you go. But we said after, like, that was 2024 we did that, and then we sort of said, so the first ever distillery trip that we properly did was Portleith, Ross. We went to Portleith. Ian Stirling took us round. It was January this year. We went round.
We went up and down and then back up again.
We did. We went. It was a fantastic experience to see that. And then we decided to keep going with that. And then our next trip was the
Whisky Stories road trip.
Whisky Stories road trip up to Martin. But I decided from looking back at the Portleith stuff that I was really, really bad at video work and trying to talk. So we decided to rope in Chuck Kerr. It turns out he's just as passionate.
You've got a very distinct style.
A distinct style, slightly accident prone.
Yeah, Chuck, there's a bit of your scalp now on the Tomatin Distillery tour where it says "mind your head" when you walk in and out of. Can anyone tell me about that interesting mash tun that we walked in, other than the fact that Chuck's heat's on it?
It's really, really hard.
Anyone?
Was it the first?
Yes.
Semi-litre mash tun.
The first ever semi-litre
The only
mash
one you
tun.
can walk in Scotland.
That's it, but it's the first ever semi-litre mash tun. Yeah, that was
Very
also
cool.
where Ross Barr backed himself and answered his own question when he said,
So tell us.
"There you go, that's fantastic. What's that there? It's a condenser, isn't it?"
Yeah, that was. It's not great looking back on it. So what is this? It's a condenser.
Yeah. But we were invited. Then we must have done something right.
Dornoch.
We got Dornoch there and things, and then we got an invite to InchDairnie Distillery, a Fife distillery, which, to be honest, absolutely fantastic. And we decided to keep Chuck coming along, but we hired a videographer for that one, so he could come along. But it was fantastic, and we got a chance to look around a distillery that is, I have to say, for people who have either been there and seen it themselves or maybe seen pictures, a fantastic distillery.
It's not
What a great
not
looking
open to
distillery.
the public.
No, not
Too
open to the
busy
public.
making whiskey, I believe is what
But it was
it said.
also
That's exactly what he
it
said.
was like an evening of just Ross and I geeking out, and
Yeah.
you guys been like
The Loman still.
Like,
Yes.
yeah, we saw Loman still.
Yeah, and the birth of Wowzers. Right? Because it wasn't until the edit I'm going back going, Ross says Wowzers a lot. And it really did. I mean, I had my whiskey gasm at Tomatin, where I tried the Tomatin 6.
And you see us seeing that Loman still.
Oh, God, gushing.
You just don't understand it at all.
No, I
and
still
we're
don't.
like, can you believe it?
I was also just over the moon to see a mash filter. Like,
Yeah,
that
mash
was
filter.
Mash
crazy.
filter.
And I
Try
have
to
to
say,
say, I think, and maybe we'll speak to Scott about this, I think Leaving Distillery
Yeah.
has now put a mash filter in. Now, Leaving Distillery, I might be wrong in this, is Diageo's distillery for experimenting with doing experimental stuff.
What are the bottling is?
So-
So the heart of Kilmarnock, actually.
Sorry, Scott, but you're not even the only distillery in Fife that's got a mash filter now these days. They went and got themselves one. But there was so much going on at InchDairnie Distillery, and it was a real moment for us to get a chance to go in. And also, one of the things that sometimes you can forget, because the distillery tour was such a big thing, that was us. We were part of the launch of the King Lassie
Which is amazing.
single malt release. A big moment for us on the pod.
And a bottle you would use to fight a bear with.
Exactly. 100%.
To Cody Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly. Because first of all, InchDairnie went into our Whisky Stories podcast, the 7 Wonders of the World.
Yeah.
Okay, we put that in, and then of course it also came up in the fighting of a bear. What bottle would we use? I think we just said that the first thing you would do is throw the stopper at the Bear, which would knock it a little bit, and then you have a big, thick bottle that you can then lamp the bear. But then,
Please do not harm bears.
well, we did say, because I think Angus talked about stabbing the bear at one point. We
I mean,
said,
only in self-defence.
yeah, we said that. Like, we don't want to. That's it, right? Anyway, the bear.
Please.
We did talk about the bear community before as well. It's a completely different thing, so they're safe. We're all safe, guys. We're all pals at the Whisky Stories Podcast. But
Shout out to the bear community.
everyone, you know. Anyway, what I would say is
What we
that
got to try there, we've done some blind tasting in St.
Yeah.
Drugs to have all these different distillates. And what we got to try for the first
What
time.
you
we
got to
nosed-
try, because I was driving.
Oh,
Your
well,
Angus
I
was
I
was
was
driving.
also driving side.
I believe because we had a wee competition, didn't we?
well, we tried to work out. We tried to identify what whiskies
What's
Scott would put in
malt
front
and
of us.
what's grain?
Because that's the fascinating. But look, I think we need to hear from the man himself, because he's actually managing director. Managing director, is it just InchDairnie or McDuff?
No, it's director of distilling.
Director of distilling, but we decided he's just the engineer of flavour. So, ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for Scott Snedden. Up you come, Scott. Talk us through this. Up you come.
Welcome back on, Scott.
Scott,
No, thank you.
great to see you here. Thank you. And of course, one of the things that I was really surprised about was when we spoke was you were able to just rattle off Whisky Stories Podcast nonsense that we talk, and I'm going, this guy actually, he's actually pretty serious in whiskey, and he listens.
And he's listened to more than one episode.
He's listening to us, and it's great. It's great to see you here. Thank you very much for coming and supporting, but most importantly, thank you for bringing some drams along with us. You've been a big supporter of the podcast, but when I reached out to you, because you were our first and only ever distillery spotlight event. Who was there? Who was at that distillery spotlight event in InchDairnie one? Yep. There's a couple of interesting drams on that lineup. Cast samples, things like that. But one of the things that you spoke a lot about when we went to visit was all the different styles of whiskey that you're making at InchDairnie. Spirit as well. And one of the things is that you have such a modern take on the production part of it. Angus had a go at clicking a mouse
Yep.
on a computer, which I think is probably one of the best jobs he's ever had in whiskey. But
We purposely made sure you stayed away from the warehousing, though.
we see what you can do with a bung.
Less damage can be done, I think, on a...
But there's so much going on. So explain to us what because we've got two drams in front of us now. Some of us normally I would say at one of these we're drinking from our left. I don't know what order you guys.
There's a light one and a dark one.
There's a light one and a dark one. Okay. In a dark room. Yeah. There you go. So, but I'm pretty sure that you will be able to determine, and hopefully maybe determine the flavour profile or differences between the two of them. Because what have we got here, Scott?
So, to celebrate the birthday, and also because Ross was such a geek with the loam still, what we have in front of you is oats whiskey.
Oat whiskey.
That was distilled using the loam still. So the lighter one it's 6 years old. It's been in an ex-bourbon cask, because ex-bourbon's always good to see which direction of travel. So if you want to have a little taste of that.
It is oaty. The nose is creamy.
Yeah.
That very much, it's a creaminess and oats
These are
come
cast
through.
samples as well. They're
Yeah, these are
over
straight from the cask.
60%.
62% alcohol.
There should be some water on your tables if you want to add a
Absolutely.
little bit there, if you'd like to.
So I
taste
suppose that the
responsibly.
question I have for everybody is, now that you know that it's an oat whiskey, would you know it was an oats whiskey?
It's
Delicious. We're getting there.
Because you might think single grain. It is what we would call, what we
Single.
have to call single grain. But oat whiskey is not something you get to try very often at all. I think
No.
this is maybe the third Scottish oat whiskey I've ever had.
Well, this is the only time. The only oat whiskey I know is InchDairnie oat whiskey, because it's the only oat whiskey I've ever tried.
And it's got that grain quality of like pencil shaving and vanilla.
Yeah.
It's got almost.
And is this a line of? I mean, this is 6 years old. So, does InchDairnie have plans for this being a product line for the
No.
distillery?
So
Because I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just thinking, like, the Scots porridge oats advert. We can get Angus in a string vest and a kilt. This is Big Angus, and he only drinks oat whiskey. I can can see it now. I can see it now.
I can see it now, and I wish I couldn't see it now.
That's my thoughts too.
There's an AI image coming to the Whisky Stories.
Yeah,
Instagram
exactly.
Very, very
I'll be
soon.
trying to put that in a chat GPT tomorrow.
So what we do is 1 week a year we get to experiment with something different. So this is from 2019 where we did oats, and it's a week of hell, if I'm honest. It's a week I hope to never repeat. Oats
Is that just because of the difficulties in distilling with
no,
malt?
the problem wasn't distilling. The problem wasn't even in the mashing. It was in the milling, because oats has actually got a lower density than normal. So we have prescribed batch bins and grist cases for 4 tons, and we could only get 3.3 tons in it because it just blew up. It just expanded with the heat from the mill. So we had to change all our proportions, and the operators by the end of the week were glad it was never repeated again.
Have you not got a sugar box for Angus?
That's
So
amazing.
you've never distilled with using oats since?
No, we did it then, and
So
there's
this is
every
a
chance it's a one-off.
Wow.
But it's understanding how it matures. So the first glass is in the traditional ex-bourbon. Now what I had to do is I didn't want to just come along with a normal cask. So I went through the different casks that we had, and I wanted one that's a bit, how can I put it, raises questions, because whiskey is all about raising questions.
Yeah.
And whiskey can sometimes be a bit Marmite. So this is quite a funky cask. And it's interesting because I was sitting next to Jake, who was articulating what he got from it, and it's what I get from it, but I don't want to detract from it, because the thing of whiskey is when you speak to people, they use adjectives that you maybe don't want to hear as a distiller, but it's,
Especially Jake Adcock.
Oh, I know. He doesn't hold back.
so
It's quite a very unique nose.
yeah, so this is a muscatel cask. So you've got that lovely sweetness, and there's a lovely elderflower, but there's a funkiness,
It's a farminess.
there's a farminess, but also Jake articulated it quite interestingly. There's a slight sulfuriness to it.
Okay.
Now sulfuriness can be a Marmite. You either love it or you hate it, and that's what I wanted to bring along to, because whiskey's all about engaging with people and talking. So I'd like a show of hands, if I can, of the people who don't like the whiskey.
Dram number 2.
Dram number 2.
one.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Mark. Can I have a show of hands, just to be proper, of those that like number 2?
I don't dislike it.
It's quite funny. I actually don't like the nose, but I like the palate.
Yep. And that's what I love about whiskey. So,
Yeah.
so for the oats, there's no definition of what you do with oats whiskey. It's not like we can go back 100 years and say what they were using it for. We don't have that historical data. We know that oats as a grain was used within mash bills, but we don't know the context of how much it was used. So, as we spoke about when we were on the day, this has got 53% oats in it and 47% malted barley.
Okay.
So it's more oats than barley. We put it through the mash filter, it was okay. We put it through the loam still, and when it came off the still, it was like porridge oats. But we don't know how it's going to mature.
Yeah.
So that's why some of it is going into the ex-bourbon.
Amazing.
And then I wanted to try something a little bit different, so that's why I put it into the muscatel.
And what is muscatel again? Is it a fortified wine?
Yes, it is a fortified wine.
And with regards to like using the oats, because one of the things that you talked about on the podcast and the vlog that we did,
Watch it on the YouTube channel. It's really brilliant.
was the fact that like you're looking back at history, because what we see is malted barley and what we see is what we get as single malt today with the SWA and all the sort of regulations that are in place for distilling. It wasn't actually that. You don't have to go back that long, really. And when you look at the whole history of Scotch whisky, 200 odd years of all the things that were going on, you don't actually have to go too far back before. It was fairly unregulated, and it was just distillation. And the thing is, people weren't always using malted barley.
No, people were using whatever grain they had available to them. So how we came about with the oats is in 1908 Royal Commission, where the officers went around the Scottish distilleries, and all they did is recorded what was in the silos.
Right.
So in the silos there was malted barley, there was wheat, there was oats, and there was rye. So what we've been doing the last couple of years is making whiskey from the rye, the oats, and the wheat.
And
seeing what it does, seeing what flavours you can get, and seeing how it matures.
Can I ask as well, with with doing it for a week, how much liquid are you producing off a Lomond still through a run? Like, how many casks? If you never want to do this ever again, how many casks have you got to work with, really?
I've got more than 69.
Brilliant. Now, I just want to also say that for anyone who did put their hand up and say they don't like that whiskey, refunds are not available through the Whisky Stories podcast. But, I mean...
I bet this is the first oat whiskey that most of the people in the room have ever had.
Yeah.
And do you know what? That's fun.
Yeah.
That's what Whisky Stories podcast is. It's
Oh.
conversation-worthy whiskey.
Exactly. And, of course, the big question for me, Scott, and you might already know the question before I ask it, is where are you sourcing your oats from? Is it good Fife oats?
Unfortunately, this wasn't at Fife Oats.
That's why I didn't like it, to be honest. I wasn't too keen on it, to be honest. But yeah.
It came from the north of England.
Did it? Right, okay. But, I mean, is that, from your point of view then, we've talked about you, we've called you the engineer of flavour. One thing is, I always look at the way whiskey's evolved and whiskey grows and develops, and it's like so many things, especially anything that's over maybe 50 to 100, 200 years. It's evolved through mistakes and changes, and people making changes and adapting and adapting and adapting. So for a new distillery, it's very easy because you get to learn from the mistakes of other people that have made. But what's also very good and exciting about InchDairnie, from my point of view, is that you're still happy to experiment. Like, what's great is you've come out here and you've said, we've done oats, and it was a nightmare, and we'll probably never do it again. But you still have casks of whiskey that's been made using oats that is still maturing. And what we don't know is, this is 6 years old. Come back in another 6 years for our 8th birthday party. There we go.
Good counting.
There we go.
Didn't have to use your 12 fingers.
Exactly. Exactly. And you can, we might, exactly, thanks Dougie. We got the joke. Okay. Cheers, mate. All right. Didn't need to keep going, okay. But, thanks for bringing your glasses, pal. But we could be sitting here, like I say, 8th birthday, and you can say, here's the same casks. It's now 12 years old.
I think it's quite exciting.
And we could all be sitting there going, actually, that's totally changed.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at a lot of the casks out there, one of the things I've always talked about is Craigellachie. You know, when it gets to 13, that fruitiness comes through, but before 12, there's a real rubbery funk.
I get rubberiness in the second dram.
It's really seeing what direction of travel we can get over that period of time, which is, it's the exciting part, but it's the one that is the frustrating part, because I want to get to the end point, but we have to give the whiskey a chance to. You talked about the engineer of flavour. Other ones is about the whiskey whisperer, is listen to the whiskey.
Yeah.
It's seeing how it's aging and what flavours are developing or what flavours are then coming through. And for this instance, we only chose 2 different cask types. Depending on what direction of travel, I may be persuaded to do it again, but I need a lot of persuasion.
And are you still experimenting with things at InchDairnie? I mean, particularly in the type of grain you're using, the types of grain you're using. Do you think about things like corn or anything like that?
Yeah, we are looking at, I mean, the one that we did this year is a few years ago we did a sour mash.
Right.
So a sour mash is where you bring some of the pot ale back into the mashing process. It changes the pH, and it brought a lot of esters. And we also do a peated whiskey. And I was doing some research and reading, and it was a paper that explained that most of the phenols in whiskey is lost in the pot ale. So us being Scottish people don't want to waste anything. I thought, can I do a sour peated whiskey? So that's what I did.
Right.
And it was just purely from research and seeing what it is. And the spirit that we got is a lot more estery, but it's a lot more phenolics compared to the standard.
Really?
Again, put it in a cask and see how that matures. Because it's one thing to get it in the distillate. The question is will it survive the maturation? And you really don't know until you try it.
Yeah, and of course we talked about, now, let me get this right, the outdoor fermentation that you do. So we just naturally assumed that outdoor fermentation, where these big huge fermentation tanks are outside of the distillery, we kind of said, God, that must be a nightmare in the winter. But this summer we've had some absolutely cracking days this summer, and the heat that we've had, did that have an impact on the way that you had to produce the whiskey during that time of the year with them being outdoors?
Yes and no, because part of the wonders of whiskey is you can use that as a special season for that year. it's all about understanding the flavour. So I've naturally let the last 2 campaigns, which would normally be a lot colder, just operate as normal, because I want to understand I'm going to see more esters than I would get from what it normally was. So it's using an opportunity to learn more about our generation of flavour within what we do.
Brilliant. Well, you know, they never say about whiskey, we've talked about it a few times, a breakfast dram. And, you know, we all like our porridge and Weetabix in the mornings. I think we've definitely found that. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, let's show an appreciation for Scott Sneyd, the engineer of flavour. And a big thank you for bringing on some absolutely fantastic drams. Now, as well as our cards, lads, we've been gifted a birthday present. Ooh. Yeah, and he's here to give us a present. Where are you? Is it John, isn't it? Johnny, where are you, Johnny? Up you come, Johnny. Here he comes. Let's cheer it for Johnny here. Johnny's from Heggie House. Hoogie House. Right, squeeze up then, squeeze up. We're going to play Pass the Parcel when the music stops. You get to take it. Johnny, talk us through this. Well, talk us through Hoogie House.
Hoogie House. So that's basically my business, which was set up during COVID. I've always been involved in sort of woodworking and all that sort of stuff. I've got Coopers in the family and everything like that. So I decided that I was going to do something different because it's different from my day job, and I thought, you know what, I'll do that.
The stickers are great as well.
Oh, I know.
That's
yeah,
nice
I would like to say I wrapped that. I didn't. My wife did. So
current wife.
Yeah, current wife.
There you go. Right, Ross, open it up. Tear it open there.
Oh, bubble wrap as well.
Bubble wrap too. Fantastic. So you've been contacting us a little bit. You're a listener to the podcast.
Yep.
And what's the background to this then?
Well, this one here.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I'm a huge fan of whiskey. I've been drinking whiskey since I was about 20, so I got introduced to that by my...
About 22, 23 years then, aye.
At least. That's when the beard started growing. And I lost my hair. But no, so essentially, no. So I would describe myself as a wood...
Upside down.
I'm a wood and resin worker. So, designer, artist, maybe. It's described a lot of different ways, but yeah. So essentially, this is a lovely cookie slice of a tree trunk. It's a cherry wood, and it was actually from my mum and dad's garden. Basically, when I started doing this a bit more often, I just went looking for trees, and their cherry tree suffered.
Brilliant.
But I get to use it.
And inside you've got a bit. Is that glass inside or is it?
No, not so. It's resin I use. So
right.
It's a very, very buffed up, highly buffed resin, and with the Whisky Stories in it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Troy. Honestly,
just because when I see you guys sitting in the basement dwelling and that cask,
it's a bit empty, right?
It's very similar to that, and I thought it needs a bit of a tidy up. You're a bit of an OCD freak, and
don't,
you guys need to.
Because Angus once said that Kev's cleaned up for a change, and he made it like, and he got a quick Angus's band on the door written down there.
I said you can tell he's put you can tell he's put a brush to the floor.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
But because you make these for people, you make these for order as well.
Yeah,
where can you get these, Johnny?
So you can get them from. I'm on Instagram under Hoogoose, which is HYGGE, Hoose HOOSE. So
we'll share this because there's plenty of people. You know, having Bob cutting up on a couple of weeks ago, Whiskey Shed. It's really that we saw it before. We've done this before, where people weekend dram roll call. By the way, please be posted on weekend dram roll call tonight as well, so we keep it going. But has anyone whiskey bars in their house? Has anyone got a sort of dedicated whiskey bars, whiskey areas in their house? Yeah, we've got a few over here. Yeah. Now wait a minute. Mark's got. Is it Ardbeg? There's a strange amount of Ardbeg you've got in the house of yours. It's a lot. Fantastic. Anyone else got anything built in the house or any bars and things like that as well? Mike Brown there as well. So this will be perfect. Won't it?
Send your pictures to me, and I can certainly give you some tips on improving or how I may improve it.
Brilliant.
I believe that Greg Uckert has a great home bar as well.
Yeah,
Greg. If Greg's actually in the middle of a really interesting conversation. After party is at Greg's.
Well, what Greg does is, I think Greg's managed to get like his expense through the business so that he can suddenly go, I've got a box load of samples I need to sample in my bar in the garden, sort of thing. But no, look, Johnny. Enter and not leaving. There they are. But
very, very generous.
Johnny, thank you so much, and that's fantastic, and we'll share that. Let's hear about Johnny and giving us a birthday present. Thank you so much. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will sort of conclude the second now. Our next 2 drams we've got coming up. We've got 2 more drams to go. Well, in fact, no, we've got 4 more drams to go. Strap yourselves in. We've got quite a lot of liquid to put in our mouths tonight. There we go. Shall we have another go at everyone clapping us back in?
Yeah.
Right. Everybody, you know what to do. Clap us back in. Welcome along to the Whisky Stories Big Birthday Bash! Brilliant. Right, we're back, lads. We're back.
You're hired. That was good.
They're doing well. Angus, it actually goes to show it's not as easy as people think it is, eh?
No, well, this is it.
Your microphone's not coming through there.
It's not ideal.
What have we done? Yeah.
Still plugged in?
Probably
Technical
not.
issues might occur during the process of this podcast.
What have you done with that mic?
I've not done it.
You're just going to have to share with Ross now. Give me that mic, that's fine.
I'm not okay with that.
Oh, tough. Shut up, Ross. But yeah, it's not as easy as people think. Clapping in.
No, absolutely not.
I'm pretty good at it.
Right, give your mic back to Ross.
Okay, what drams have we got in front of us this time? Who we welcome to the stage next, Graeme?
Good, but what we're going to say is, as I say, Nicole Leslie's sitting on the edge of her seats there. She's like, what's the next party game going to be, Graeme? Now, let me tell you, one of the things, a big person who's been really, really good to the pod, he's not here tonight.
Can't call him that.
He's been fantastic with us, Ali Baxter. Let's give a shout out to Ali Baxter, fantastic, right? Now, Ali Baxter came on the podcast. He talked us through the fact that from his bedroom window when he grew up, he could see Glen Murray from his bedroom window. And then we've had other people from Scotch Whisky Experience. There's a lot of people who have worked for the Scotch Whisky Experience, are now working in whisky, etc., etc. Ali Baxter's still there. He does a fantastic job. So we also found out that they play Whisky Stories bingo. Now, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in this next segment and feature, we are going to be playing Whisky Stories Ali Baxter bingo. Okay. We have a list of key phrases. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'll look to get bingo cards printed out. It's a lot of money and a lot of hassle, right? So what we're going to do is, I have a list of phrases that are often said on Whisky Stories podcast. Wowzers. Current wife. Keeper of the quiche. Built Glenkinchie. Sponsorship available. Wanky tasting note. And sherry tart. Okay? Now, through this next segment, we will be dropping these words in as we're going. Now, if you want to have a chance of winning another prize through this game, if you hear us saying 3 of them, not 3 in a row, bear in mind we've had like 5 drams. If you hear us saying, so once you've heard us saying 3 of those words, you have to stand up and shout, Ali Baxter's bedroom window. And if you shout out Ali Baxter's bedroom window, you will be given a chance to come up onto the stage and take part in a little whiskey challenge to win yourself another bottle of whiskey. How does that all sound? Brilliant. I appreciate that for Chuck and Ross, this is the first time that you've heard this. This is the first time that you've heard this.
It is.
So there's a good chance that let's not go daft. The words again, the words.
Do you have a handout?
No, again. I don't have a printer in the house. So.
We'll write this in wood next time, Johnny.
What we're looking for, wowzers, current wife, keeper of the quiche. Oh, he's done me. There you go. Good one. Well done. spilt, Glen Kinchy. Sponsorship
You're
available.
better than that Mark Thompson 2.0. Two gorgeous men, by the way.
Aye, absolutely. We're blessed. Never been seen on the Whisky Stories podcast at the same time. Right, sponsorship available, Wanky Tasting Note and Sherry Tart. So for our next dram as well, a man who gave us a fantastic whiskey story. Honestly, had us in stitches. We didn't see it coming. It came out of the blue. He's coming all the way from Holyrood Distillery. Please show your appreciation for Mr. Conor O'Keefe. That should work. Conor, how are you?
I'm well, thanks.
You're ripping as well. You've got the work jacket on.
Yeah.
Come straight from work.
So yeah.
It's good. Now,
What are we doing today?
We were making
Whiskey.
Yeah, making whiskey. Yeah. Yeah, surprisingly, Golden Promise, peated Golden Promise with rum yeast. So,
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
now
Yeah.
let's go straight in. What dram have we got in front of us? We'll tell us about the dram. Then we'll have a little chat about about what you guys are doing.
Which one's this?
The
The lighter of the two.
The darker.
The darker of the two.
Darker of the two.
In the dark room, we're looking for the darker of the two.
Yeah. So the reason I didn't get back to you was because we were racing to get 2 bottles of anything. So these are the last 2 bottles of a single cask, cask number 89, which we released last year.
Brilliant.
So yeah, you can see by the colour, you can probably guess it's one for the sherry tarts. I'm getting them in early. I'm going to do all 3 now.
Oh, damn, yeah, there we go.
So it's a single cask. It's at 60%, so take it easy.
Yeah.
But we used 3 different yeasts in it. 2 distilling yeasts, DY502 and DY379. So kind of catchily named.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, you know the ones.
Big favourites.
Yeah. You'll recognise DY502 from malt distilling and DY379 from grain distilling, of course.
Obviously.
Then we've used a Bollicine, which is a Italian sparkling wine yeast. So
Which has the better name of the 3.
yeah, it does really, doesn't it? Yeah, better branding.
Where is it?
Yeah. So.
You guys suck at
Slow it down, lads.
So normally when we're experimenting with yeast, we will use a kind of a distilling malt to get us the yield that we need, just get us alcohol, and then get the kind of interesting flavors from our specialty yeast. This one is like, the thing is kind of what Scott was saying, that you could often end up with pretty challenging results. So when we use other sparkling wine yeasts, like ones from France, they are yeast killers, so they will actually kill the other yeast in the washback.
Cannibalistic yeast.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, they'll.
You just ruined Chuck's question.
That's the question.
I was just going to ask if you're using all the yeast at the same time.
Yeah, we absolutely are. Yeah, I mean, not always, but we've experimented with kind of adding them different ways at different times, because each yeast kind of has its own preferred situation, and sometimes they get on quite well, and sometimes they really don't. And in this case, I think it's 3 yeasts that actually we've used a few times and do get on really well. So it's. The kind of what they say on the packet is they'll give you kind of certain flavors, but in reality, when you use them, you just don't know. So in this one, you used the Bollicine, which gives you kind of fruit and citrus. So you might be able to find that in the nose. I think a tiny drop of water is like literally a drop.
Huge dram.
Is enough, I think, to get that nose. So give it a go.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Now, I think Fraser Sudis will also drew you a couple of pints because you gave him some advice on where to go on a visit to Cork.
Yes.
Was that's where you're originally from? Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
right,
that neck of the woods, and we talked about. It was early doors actually, but we talked about your journey into whiskey, and you told this great story about the two old boys that would sit at the bar, because fascinating that how the whiskey industry has so many different entry levels and entry points into it. Here's Connor talking to us about yeast strains and yeast and all that different things, but it didn't always start out like that, because you started out just working behind the bar.
Yeah, very much so. For years I've been bartending for 20 years before I moved into distilling.
And would you have thought, as your personality, like I always think that whiskey attracts people through different areas. Like it's the stories, it's the marketing effect. I'm a marketer's wet dream when it comes to stuff like that. Honestly,
With phrases like that.
I am. I would say so. I'm not scared to say that. Like, yeah. Any marketers out there? But like, I would say that people approach whiskey from so many different angles, and I think that what we've got a little bit of difference on the podcast. Chuck loves all the stuff about the technical stuff. Ross, you're kind of in between the flavour and the chat about the flavour.
I like it all.
Yeah, and I'm getting more into the liking of it all. Right, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, I met Connor years ago drinking a Nauticus potentially far too regularly. Very proud to say that I designed my bathroom after the bathrooms at Nauticus.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's actually
How's the leak?
Shut up!
You got 6 urinals, have you?
2. I kept it true to form. But yeah, no. When I would go into Nauticus quite a lot of the time, Connor was the guy who made me okay with Glenbergie, because I'd go in quite often and he'd be like, "Have you tried this Glenbergie?" And I was like, "I really don't like Glenbergie." And he's like, just try this one. And the co-owner, well, the founder and creator of
What About Glenbergie?
Yeah.
Is that you? Are you the founder and creator of What About Glenbergie?
Yeah.
Really?
Thank you.
For people that don't know what that's it. That's
What About Glenbergie, guys?
What About Glenbergie is a Facebook page with about 70 of us, all white, sad men.
Facial hair.
Is there even that many?
I'm on it.
There's about 70 of us now. So basically, what you do is you order a Glenbergie, you take a photo of it, and you go, "Look at this Glenbergie."
It's a vibrant community, it's a rich story.
And then people comment #nerdyburgie, #coolburgie, #summertimeburgie, whatever you want.
But it has to be said, I mean, Glenbergie is a cracking drop. It's a great dram. But let's talk about this. I've just had some water to that.
I'm going to just say as well, you said about Fraser Souness doing your tour of Cork. And what I loved about your podcast episode, Connors, talking about you're doing this distillation course through lockdown. We actually had somebody then go and do that course.
Yeah.
From listening to your podcast. And that was Fraser Souness, and he didn't pass it. But I think that's really good that you inspired the younger generation of whiskey drinkers
To at least try.
Yeah, that's it.
But
you learn lots.
But it was Powers whiskey you were talking about.
Yeah.
On
And
the
you sent
podcast.
us out
And you
Powers.
sent us, and I don't think you even got to try it, because I think the 3 of us demolished it.
I mean, we are looking for sponsorship. Right, Greg, we're going to get Nicole up as well. We'll get. Is it? No, there we go. Oh, so you're all chatting, Nicole. Isn't it? When's the next game, Graeme? First to shout out. Right, we've got a caller there. We've got a caller here. Right, Greg, pair of you are up. You come. We're going to do a Whisky Stories Whisky Challenge.
What's this?
Right.
Is that a dance?
Dance off.
Dance off. Yeah, we're just going to get you pair of you to dance. Right. How do you get spelling? well, good. We've got a level playing field here, right? What we're going to do is I'm going to get you to shout your name out. We've got 3. No, you need to shout your name out. No, apparently someone had to spell your name for the bottle signing that you said. Right. So, what's the first one?
What I'd say is I've got 10 distilleries. So
Right.
I would say they have to pick a number between 1 and 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pick a number between 1 and 10, right? And you've got 3 distilleries you have to spell right correctly to walk away with it, and you get one chance each. One chance each.
They are. Three's quite a lot there. They are a mix.
Right, two. Well, no, one distillery. Right, fuck it, everyone's a winner. One distillery you got to spell right.
Some of these are really easy, and some of these are really, really, really hard.
So it's a real minefield.
Right, so we'll go with Greg first. What was your? In fact, no. Sorry, what's your name again? Chris. We'll go, Chris.
Pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
Can you spell for me Royal Loch Nagar?
What were you calling it?
Right, Royal Loch Nagar. Right, Chris, on you go.
So ROYAL
Yeah.
LOCHNACHAR.
No, LOCHNAGAR.
Lucky Chris. Thanks for coming along.
That was one of the easier ones as well.
Okay, Greg, pick a number between 1 and 10.
Lag. LAGG.
Pick a number between 1 and 10.
1.
Can you pronounce that
That'll
for
be
me, Ross?
Altavania, please. Altavania.
Altavania.
ALLT
Yeah.
space AH.
No.
There's no H.
And the bingo goes on.
The bingo will carry on into the next round, but we've had 3 of the words already. Let's hear it for our players. Chris and Greg, well done. But Connor, so tell us about this dram here. You've told us about the yeast. What's the age of the dram?
We don't normally disclose it.
All right, okay.
The idea is that it should be flavour forward, really.
Yep.
And that's.
And what's the flavour? What are the flavour notes then that we should be getting from this?
I think with a little bit of water, especially on the nose, you'll get that the citrus and the fruit. I will say, like, we opened in 2019, so you can imagine it's not a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old, right? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I get a little bit of kind of balsamic vinegar and tomatoes from the nose.
Lovely.
But, yeah, and then
That's
and
a
then
good
kind of-
wanky taste. Isn't it?
That's good, Dan.
It's that Italian yeast.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're still playing on, guys. We've got another 3 to go. Another 2 to go. Anyway, look, Connor, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast as well. And thank you for giving us one of the best whiskey stories, The Priest and the Ginger
Priest and
Boy.
the Ginger
If
Boy.
you haven't heard it, go back and listen to that. Let's hear it for Connor O'Keefe and the dram there. Sorry.
It's just a Holyrood single cask.
Is this Holyrood single? Because Chuck's just gone.
Cask 89.
What was the name of the dram? Is this Cask 89?
Cask 89, yeah.
Cask 89 of Holyrood. Very well done. Thank you so much. Now, our next dram, we're going to be welcome Ryan McCaffrey up from Tri-Carragh for our next dram. Let's hear it for Ryan.
Nice one. Thanks for coming on, Ryan. I didn't turn up to the podcast.
No.
You came on.
Were you at the indie bottling he was on?
I was not. No, but I know Ryan. I'll get on just fine.
We know
I'm
each
here
other
for
now,
this
aye?
one. I'm here for this one. Ryan, introduce the dram that we've brought here from Tri-Carragh.
So I've got so Tri-Carragh's a single independent bottler and bottles single cask whiskey. So what I've got for you tonight is a Glenlossie 10-year-old. It is cask strength 52.4. It's quite low for cask strength, I suppose. And it's one that's been matured in a refill bourbon cask, but finished in a first fill bourbon cask for 21 months. So just over a year and a half, or between a year and a half and 2 years, I suppose. So it just gives that wee bit extra lift of the flavours you'd expect to get from a kind of bourbon, American white oak maturation. So yeah, very tropical, bit of spicy notes coming through as well, but also that kind of light, kind of fruitiness.
So Glenlossie is Glenlossy is a distillery. That's one of these kind of workhorse distilleries for Chivas, isn't it? It's a kind
No,
of
but Diageo.
Diageo.
Florin for it.
You'll not be getting your keeper of the quiche anytime soon, I guess.
another 5 years to go, Graeme.
but like Ryan, how do you get hold of like Tri-Carragh came on yourself and Ola?
Yep.
A kid Fife lassie coming in from Kirkcaldy as well.
My current work wife.
Fraser adjacent. That was Fraser adjacent.
Right. Fraser adjacent, out you come.
Now here's the thing, Fraser's good at spelling.
But he's not doing spelling.
He's got to spell Ola Lopatowska.
Right.
You actually pronounced it, mate. That's quite good.
Right, so are we going spelling again, or have we got another challenge for them?
Good.
If I have another challenge, what is the other challenge?
We've not got another
Okay,
challenge.
Jason, give us a number.
We can dance off.
We're not doing it.
Jason, give us a number between 1 and 10 that's not 1 or 7.
I'll go for 3.
3.
Can you please spell for us Bruichladdich? That's a bloody hard gen.
BRUI.
Yep.
CHLADDICH.
He's
only
gone
done
and
it.
done it.
Should has a chance, though, right?
He's won a prize anyway. Well done.
There you go.
There you go. Right, Fraser, sit down.
Fraser, pick a number. Pick a number.
Pick a number between 2 and 10 that's not 3 or 7.
This is a challenge.
10.
8.
Oh, right. You've got an easy one, though. Smell Ardnahoe.
Yeah.
Well done, Fraser. Now we've got this really nice Gordon McPhail. Well done, mate. Do you like Gordon McPhail there again? Brilliant, man. Well done, Ryan. You've cost us a bottle. But look, Tri-Carragh then, Stravaig Spirits, Tri-Carragh, independent bottling. What's it been like for you this year? What's it been like for you guys? We hear different stories. It's up and down at the moment in the whiskey world. But we had a chat with Woody and Megan the other night. It was on this week's podcast, and these guys don't know it any different. They've been working hard all the time. What about yourselves? What's it been like?
Yeah, quite similar. In honest, I think the benefit for us and Woodrow's etc. is we are quite new. We're all kind of 3 years old or thereabouts. So we've got kind of markets that we're not in. We've got shops that we're not in. We've got new shops that we can approach. So for example, we're in the US, Woodrow's isn't.
Wow! Wow, Jerry!
Where's the air horn? They're in Denmark, but we're not,
You're in a spirit drink handful, though.
They were asked, we weren't. If you're like some of the big boys like Diageo and Chivas and stuff, you're probably already everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing a downturn, you're seeing people drink less, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've got new places we can go, new markets we can try and tap into, which is still difficult.
Yeah.
Because a lot of conversations we have is, we're kind of sitting on a lot of stock, we're not selling at the moment, not taking on new brands. But yeah, we've got a lot of growth opportunities, so yeah, we're seeing a kind of increase in our sales.
I'd say one of the best drams I've had this year is a Braze of Glenlivet, 30-year-old, bottled by Tri-Carragh, which is just an outrageously tasty whiskey.
Well, the last one, I'd say, sorry, the
You're not allowed to speak.
No, I know.
You're asked it, right?
his microphone. Use Ross's, mate. Use Ross's.
Something very interesting. You were at a whiskey festival and you charged for that dram. So people had already paid to get in the festival. You said
now you're getting me a bad
£5, which is an interesting decision to do that because obviously, but explain the decision behind that because that's not something you see really at whiskey festivals in Scotland.
So when we're an independent bottler, you're kind of, when you go to the, certainly in the UK, you go to these festivals, and it is sometimes a bit of a free-for-all. So we wanted to kind of showcase the whiskey, but at the same time, we didn't want to be kind of pouring away, it's only 124 bottles, so we didn't want to be pouring away hundreds of pounds worth of whiskey to people that are just buying, oh, that's a very good, I'll try that. So
Scottish festivals, that lasts 5 minutes. What's the oldest one you've got?
Yeah.
Stick it in front of you.
But people paid.
And people paid. It's you know, people are, every single well, I'd say 99% of the people that I've done that with, they went, yeah, fair enough.
You charge them a fiver for
the
it.
only other option would be we wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to a big festival, I'm not going to take, if I know I'm going to be pouring 2, 3, 4 bottles, and probably likelihood is no one's going to buy a bottle, they're just trying it.
Do you feel that people listened more about the whiskey?
Oh, without a doubt. Oh, without a doubt.
Because any time I've done a European whiskey festival, the Scottish whiskey festival is an absolute sham from a provider's point of view and from a business point of view, because you go to these European whiskey festivals, they actually care about what they're drinking.
Yeah.
We are spoiled
That's true.
here in Scotland. You put your glass out, you've got 3.5 hours, and you see how many drams you can get in, and then you've got old boys pre-gaming it and post-gaming it.
I've done it. I've been, you know, my first experience of kind of whiskey festivals was the Whiskey Fringe, you know, back, you know, late 2000s and stuff, and it was just, yeah, as a university student in Edinburgh, it's just like,
oh yeah, but
next one.
Yeah.
You know, I remember kind of going to the Whiskey Fringe, and then they used to do the booklets, or maybe they still do, and I'd tick off, I want to try this, and this, and I remember looking at it going, I've just ticked 60 drams here, that's ridiculous.
Well, there's a clip that never made it out for our behind the scenes. A clip when I went around at Whiskey Fringe.
For those off camera, Dougie is really cringing here.
No. It was because I got chatting to a lady. She was a lovely lady actually, and she was like,
"Your next wife."
I said to her, "So she had a notepad and everything with her," and I was like, "How's your day been?" And I was trying to interview her, and the reason I wanted to speak to her was she clearly had a plan. Turns out her plan was to get pissed.
Fair play, Hazel.
It wasn't Hazel, right? I would say this. But I've got this footage of me speaking to this woman, being like, right, you've got a notepad. And she's like, I've not written fucking anything doing it. And I was like, right. So, because I was sort of saying, did you want to come and try stuff? Just wanted to try whiskey, and I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that. I said, but you got a notepad. But she was with people who were of that ilk, who did want to come, and they had a plan. They were looking at it and saying, and I think that's where you have to look at it from a whiskey festival's point of view, is people want to get good value out of their money, but then I've got the clip, we put it out at the Lomond Whiskey Festival, which was a great whiskey festival we really enjoyed, but I asked the guy, we tried much today, sir? And he went, row 1. Right? And I'm saying, has anything stood out for you? And he was like, not really at the moment. But I was like, no wonder, because there's about 14 stalls in row 1, and it's only 45 minutes into this whiskey festival. So you've had 14 drams in the space of 40 minutes or whatever. So it becomes a difficult thing. So at least when you put that price point on a dram, first of all, there's a thought process. I've got to, is this good? Am I worth doing? And look, tap and go, $5. When you actually look at the value of that whiskey and you look at the bottle, the age,
it's a small barrier to entry, but not not prohibitive. It's it's good value for money. I mean, that particular whiskey is available at the Balmoral Hotel, for example. And
wow, isn't he good?
I don't even have to say sponsorship's still available.
Do you know what, Ryan?
Can you get a dram at the Balmoral of that for a $5?
Do you know, Ryan? I've always respected you and the business. Angus, shut up.
Listen, right, remind us again. What is this we've been drinking?
Any wacky tasting notes from the Glenlossy 10?
With no more fucking whiskey to give away.
Surely there should be points off if you can't count to 3. Like, surely.
And that's a keeper of the quiche.
But no, right. So it's a Glenlossy.
Glenlossy 10-year-old. It's from our 9th release. So Tri-Carragh translates to 3 pillars for those who don't know. A kind of nod to the fact that Scotch whisky or single malt Scotch whisky is made with only 3 ingredients: water, barley, and yeast. So we do our releases in batches of 3 as well. We kind of do the odd wee kind of special bottling for a shop or whiskey podcasts or
Yeah.
Speak to
you for our third birthday.
But generally, we do a kind of general release in batches of 3. So this is from our 9th release. It's not out yet. It's going to be coming out in the next few weeks.
And what would this retail at then?
This will be about 75 quid a bottle.
Brilliant.
So
Nice.
really cash strength.
Good easy going.
One of 200 and I don't even know 30 bottles or thereabouts.
It's lovely.
Nice,
Really?
easy drinking whiskey.
Right, well, let's hear it for
Thanks,
Ryan
Ryan.
McCaffrey from Tri-Carragh and also Conor O'Keefe from Holyrood Distillery. We've got 2 more drams to go, guys, so the same rules apply. Head out that direction, and one of those drams is, well, in fact, both of those drams I'm going to predict can be pretty special, because one of them will be the Woodrows of Edinburgh Whisky Stories Spirit Drink. But we've also got Mike and Jake, who are well warmed up for this evening to pop onto the podcast and talk us through what those 2 guys have decided to bring along with them. So it's going to be special. Shall we try again? Right, everybody, you know what to do. Clap us back in. Welcome back to the Whisky Stories Big Birthday Bash Universe! Wow, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drums. Hey, don't say we're not good to you, but I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 guys who've been here far too long, actually. I said it was a...
2 young, hot men in whiskey.
I said arrive for about 6:30. They were here at 6:45, and they've just been giddy. Wait till you see what we've brought you, because they haven't even told us what we've got. Now, I have absolutely made sure that everything is being recorded right now, because every time this man seems to come on the podcast, I make a cock up when it comes to recording. Right, I don't know how many times you've been on the pod before, but please show your appreciation. It's Mike Brown and Jake Adkins! Brilliant.
Chuck's had
Have you
enough.
turned their mic on yet?
Chuck's
haven't you?
gone.
Chuck's gone home.
Chuck's gone because the plumber's in.
Chuck's off.
There you go. Squeeze in, lads.
Right, there
First
we
of
go.
all, I just want to say, Jake, thank you so much for wearing not wearing a shirt. Right, because anytime I see you with a shirt on, you've got about 2 buttons done. So it's absolutely fantastic here. Mike, great to have you here again. Fantastic.
Slange, everyone. Slange.
Slange, honestly.
Cheers, guys.
Brilliant.
Pleasure.
And obviously as well.
That's a BA all over it.
Exactly. He knows what he's doing.
I meant it.
He knows what he's doing. You know, you both guys, you've been big supporters of the podcast. Honestly, Mike. First of all, I had to message you a couple of days after we recorded and have to say to you, I'm really sorry. Met you for the very first time and I accidentally deleted your episode.
That was only I turned up for as well.
I mean, it was quite brutal. And actually, the second time I did a podcast, you weren't there.
Yeah.
And so I started to think, you don't like me.
He does.
Right next to you now.
Thanks.
He does. And Jake.
But it's a shame because the second time you came on, I also couldn't make it, so it seemed like it was fairly perfect.
No, you've been great. You.
And then Angus hates Jake. Angus decided not to.
I like
turn
yachts
up.
though. I like yachts.
You like yachts, do you?
I don't mind yachts.
What are you doing next summer? Because Ross has got some spaces to fill. But Jake, you've been really good to us. And what I love is the consistent theme is that what I love, and Ian McLeod Distillers have been big pals of the pods. Really supported the podcast. We had some fun with Gordon Dundas
At Rosebank and at Glengoyne.
and Glengoyne, getting taken around, treated to lobster sandwiches from Greg's. Who knew
it was
Greg's did
incredible.
lobster sandwiches?
Yeah.
But anytime you guys come on the podcast, you bring good stuff. Really good stuff. Honestly, we've had Little Mills, we've had Rosebank, we've had Glengoyne's 21, Tamdhu 21s, we've had
Glengoyne 24 White Oak.
Glengoyne 24 White. We've had loads of great stuff.
And we've also had the Glengoyne I personally blended myself.
Yes, we've had some really good stuff.
So, some would argue the pinnacle of Glengoyne blending.
Yeah. So, Jake, explain to. I messaged you guys. I said, fancy it? Are you coming along to the Whisky Stories Big Birthday Bash? Great to have you here. The only stipulation is I need you to bring 2 bottles of something. What have you brought? What are we drinking? Dram number 1 right now.
So we do a lot of stuff with sort of MPD in the background, and we just play about with things. This is something that I've had an idea for a while, but you can't really do for sort of marketing reasons. And the SWA overlords have sort of come down on us. Sorry, buddy, about that. So this is something I've custom blended for this event, and the reason we're keeping this bottle a secret was because You can pass that one and have a look at that for you guys.
So just for the benefit of you guys, they've not seen this at all. And
if whiskey bottles were made by ChatGPT,
I thank you.
We'll pass that bottle around because
around.
I want everybody who can take a photo of this and stick it on the weekend
Yes.
dram roll
This is
call.
so cool.
I have always wanted to be on the Facebook bottle.
That's a very generous mustache. Jake.
I'm going into it.
Wait, is he in a shirt or he's in a shirt and he's got the top 3 bottles around? I'm going to pass
actually
this.
added
There you
into
go.
ChatGPT that I wanted his shirt to be a wee bit open, which my ChatGPT was like, "Are you sure? That sounds a bit creepy."
No, it's Jake.
It's the Blair on holiday look.
He's got a slightly larger nose, being a blender, so that's totally fine as well.
Brilliant. So what is this?
So
then?
this is what we've sort of what I've traded as like a Glengoyne Decades, and what you're drinking is a technically 12-year-old whiskey. But
Technically 12 years old.
A technically 12-year-old, but I've tried to essentially replicate everything good about Glengoyne, but use big historical points throughout of Glengoyne's history. So we're using the 12-year-old recipe, which is
a lot of
anyone here?
A bit of bourbon
blending
and
experience at Glengoyne?
a bit of bourbon.
I want percentages.
30%.
No, I think it was 70% bourbon.
Anyone here from
not sherry? No.
It's as if you didn't fucking listen.
Anyone?
To be honest, Jake, we did a lot of drams.
Anyone do
So-
a Glengoyne Malt Master experience here?
We did the Glengoyne Malt Master experience. It was absolutely
So
fantastic.
you're looking at about 60% refill, 20 bourbon, 20 sherry.
It's the whiskey you first picked up on the left-hand side. The whiskey on the left-hand side as you walk through the
one
curtain.
Shan gave you.
Yeah.
It's the darker one of the two. I think it's only marginally.
Yeah. So we're going with that sort of 60-20-20, but the 20% from the bourbon you're getting from the 24-year-old white oak. The 20% from the sherry you're getting from a combination of the 25-year-old.
Wow.
And
Hang on.
the newest unreleased teapot as well. It's in there.
Hang on, Jake, before you go into this, just to clarify. So this is the Glengoyne 12 years old. However, the entire concept of this is that it's not the regular 12-year-old, just to clarify.
Yeah, because you've just said there's 24-year-old white oak in
Yes.
Yeah. So like the base of it is about 20% of Glengoyne 12, right? But then the bourbon element we're implementing is literally Glengoyne 24. The sherry element is a combination of the Glengoyne 25 and the newest unreleased teapot that'll be released soon. Because we're missing a little bit of oak spice through from the 24, I've added in a bit of Mizunara into there as well.
The Mizunara bottle.
As well as to sort of highlight Glengoyne's experimental side. A little while ago, we had Glengoyne 10-year-old and we stuck it into a port pipe. And 23 years later, here we are. So 23-year finish, and that is still a finish, Graeme. It's not secondary maturation. It's a finish. 23-year finish on that whiskey. So we got a little bit in there to bring that intense nuttiness and the spice. And then making up the major refill element, you've got a really beautiful 79 cask. And then topping it off, we've got Glengoyne 50 that's been matured for an extra 3 years.
So there's 50-year-old whiskey in this 12-year-old.
So it's about 15% 53-year-old whiskey.
53-year-old whiskey.
This is a proper one of one.
Wow.
See this.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see that. You guys can come back.
It's like a Glengoyne greatest hits, basically.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, that was the idea. It was to basically celebrate Glengoyne, major milestones over the time, but still create something that's a homage.
Is there another? Have you got more bottles with those labels on them?
No, that's all there is.
We had to snook that out today, actually.
Nah. Well, look, honestly, guys.
Yeah.
I would say, it's what you've brought in. Fantastic. Love it to bits, and I can't thank you enough for that. And I'm sure everybody here is enjoying that dram. It's very special. Let's hear it for Jake and Mike. Brilliant. And the support that InchDairnie Distillers have given us over the 2 years that we've done this. You guys have been great for coming on. But I would say I talked about it on this week's episode, but Tamdhu 10. I put it in the Whisky Stories newsletter, and I talked about Tamdhu 10 having a reel, and I never got a chance to actually explain it because Chuck was sitting beside us at the time. So Tamdhu 10 was a gateway whiskey for me. A whiskey story here was basically
Sherry Tart stream.
Well, it started off it, and yeah, it is. Well, we're not playing bingo anymore, so everybody calm down. Ran out of whiskey. But the point of the matter was I went to Scotch with an ex-current girlfriend, and if she's listening, hi Sarah. But what happened was I went to Scotch for the very first time, walked into the room, and at that point I kind of felt to myself like I kind of know a little bit about whiskey. I'd heard about this guy called Billy Walker, and this will age it. At the time, Billy Walker was still Glendronach and Ben Riach, and I asked the guy who served me, "Have you got anything sort of like that?" And he said, "A Ben Riach 12. That's what he had. That's all I could afford in Scotch at the time." And and he came back and he served it to me, and he said, "Can I just ask you, are you Graeme Colgower?" And I went, "Well, yes, I am." I thought I was going to actually bring it. I always carry an autograph pen with me just in case these occasions occur. But he said, "It's me, I'm Chuck Kerr." I went, "Who?" And he went, "Chuck Kerr, we were at school together." And that was the first time. Chuck was working that night, serving me, and then what happened was, he asked me, "What do you want next?" I said, "You pick something and he gave me a Tamdhu 10. First time I'd ever had Tamdhu in my life. And just seeing the bottle, the logo, and everything about that. But then what I really loved was I felt different, I felt unique, I felt special having that dram because it was a bit different. And I would tell people about that dram. You ever had a Tamdhu 10? If someone said no, I'd tell them all about it. If someone said aye, we would bond over it. My brother, he'd never had it before. I gave it to my brother. He loved it. We were able to bond over that. It's played a big part. Then they discontinued it, all that kind of stuff. But it's fantastic. And you guys get to, one of you gets to sort of blend this stuff together, and the other one gets to travel the world. Mike, where are you just back from?
I just came back from. It's going to sound really tough. I was in Chicago in New York. It was It was all right. It was all right. It was okay. It was okay. It was all right. It was all right. It was quite a good laugh. So I was in New York, and I was absolutely starving, and I was supposed to meet a salesperson at like 10 in the morning. So I went down the street in the center of New York, and I was 9 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I'm absolutely starving, and I found a cafe on the corner of where I was staying at. And it was the only place I could find that I could actually eat at, and it was a $30 sandwich.
Wow!
Which, just to clarify, I did not get on my expenses. I paid for it myself, and I was skint afterwards.
That's tough.
I didn't eat anything for the rest of the day, and it was good.
There you go. And Jake, what are we looking forward to right now from Glengoyne, Tamdhu, Ian MacLeod Distillers?
So I would say the Mizunara that's in there, but that's basically entirely sold out.
Yeah.
At least across the UK, you'd have to go to external markets for that. We're working on other stuff in the background, things I can't talk about.
Yeah. And do you think
there'll be an extension to the Oak Masters, which is what the Mizunara and the White Oak have been? There will be another one coming to that of a different oak type. I can't say.
Right. And do you think that Glengoyne or Tamdhu or any of the brands that Ian MacLeod Distillers
Scottish
own
release?
Do you think any of them will ever allow your faces to be on the label of a bottle of whiskey?
So it was really funny actually. I printed these labels off when I was in the office today, and I slyly put them on these bottles. And Mike came in because he was giving someone advocacy work, and he was like, "Oh, John, have you seen?" John's our master blender. He was like, "John, have you seen this?" I was like, "Mike, we can't fucking shoot that." I was like, "This man will fucking kill me."
It's a good job you didn't tell Graeme you had a printer, or he'd have been printed out bingo cards.
I literally saw the way that Jake put this on the bottle, and I was like, "He's hiding this." John, have you seen this? This Chat GZP bottle that we just put together? Honestly, lads, I can't thank you enough. What a fantastic dram. What a bottle. And you know what a label. Brilliant. Let's hear it for Mike Brown and Jake Adcock. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on.
amazing.
Cheers, Slanjavar. Very good. Absolutely delicious whiskey. And one of one, ladies and gentlemen. Don't say we're not good.
Such a cool whiskey.
What do you think of the bottle? Any
What are we giving
any
out? What are we giving for the
tastes
bottle out of 10 there, ladies and gents? What are we giving it?
We're giving the thumbs up for the bottle.
10 out of 10. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And what about the dram? Brilliant. You drink with your eyes, don't you? You pick that off a shelf, no bother whatsoever. The detail is absolutely fantastic. But, ladies and gentlemen, our final dram. Whew, our final dram of the night. I know, it's only been, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drams so far.
Dram number 8. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's show you an appreciation for Woody and Megan of Woodrow's of Edinburgh. Brilliant.
So, Woody, first question. What do you really think of Tri-Carragh?
The folks are nice.
I like Ola.
Very, very fair. Very fair.
Brilliant. A bit of banter there, guys. Whiskey banter.
The whiskey is
What
great as
we
well.
we have our new partners for our latest bottling.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, I mean, look, if you haven't already, you need to listen to this week's episode. Absolutely fantastic. Woody and Megan invited us down to their warehouse. You know what warehouses do to me. They get me excited, and being in a whiskey warehouse was absolutely fantastic. But
there were fireworks on.
There were fireworks. It was Wednesday night. There were fireworks. It was absolutely fantastic, and this was all part of a project because, true to form, the planning of this could have probably been a lot better from a point of view, Woody. I bumped into you by accident a couple of weeks ago and just said, "Here, do you fancy doing something a bit wild?"
Yeah.
And you said, "Aye."
Aye.
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 We had a few different we had a few different samples. And Graeme says, "But Ross, I want the cask to be there."
Yep.
I said, "But we're going to be in the Romass." He said, "Yeah, I want the cask to be there."
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
So, but that's going to be difficult. You want to call it a whiskey? He went, "Oh yeah."
No, well, Greg Urquhart.
I want the cask to be there.
It was Greg Urquhart kind of gave us a sort of like, "You listen, lads, you need to be," because I lean on Greg for a
Upset
bit.
that we've not went rare find again. Fair enough.
You got Greg for legal advice, Greg.
I lean on Greg for a bit of consultancy here and there with different things. I just say, "What do you think of that?" And he doesn't charge. He's good, but basically he should, because he did explain to us. Well, you do realise that that's wild, and you can't call it whiskey. And that's when we went right. So after me convincing you to find a cask for us, and then say you're going to have to bring it along and bottle it tonight, Woody.
I know, we brought the whole thing with this capsule spin there as well. So
There's what have we got? What have we got with us?
so it's what did we pick? So what did you pick?
No, I'm saying what equipment? What equipment have you brought with us first?
So first of all, we have the cask.
Yep.
And of course, we have the labels.
Yep.
We have capsules, glass bottles. We have the capsule spinner for putting the capsules on. We've got obviously a pen for writing the.
Brilliant.
We've got
There's basically a warehouse in Leith lying empty.
We've even
right
got
now.
the funnel.
Well,
we've got
that's
everything.
what I was going to say, is because when we did our episode with Greg.
The whiskey's £5, whatever for the else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we spoke to Greg or Hannah, we got a chance to visit Lady of the Glen.
Yeah.
And they showed us his bottling thing, and I think we described it as a big sucker, which is what he uses to bring the liquid out of the cask to put in the bottles. You've even brought a big sucker with you as well.
Yeah, we call it a syringe, but that's more of a Leith term. So.
Brilliant. But look, guys, I think it's really important. And one of the reasons that we wanted to go with you guys was, you know, we did our first ever indie bottler spotlight, which Ross never came to. And
I have one thing to say. This is our 4th time on the podcast, and the first time we've done it with Ross. He avoids us.
is that right?
I'll be your villain. No problem whatsoever.
But look, like, you were our first ever indie. Who was at the first ever indie bottler spotlight? Brilliant. We've got there. Look at that. Fantastic. There's people still coming back and listening and watching us.
It's a miracle.
But you guys were there, and you like, I had no idea what the concept was. We didn't know how it was going to work. We said, look, it's coming along, and you were really good to us. And I can't thank you enough for that, because like, everyone talks about the friendliness and the support that the whiskey industry gives each other. There's people in this room who are part of the industry. There's people in this room who are consumers and drinkers. A lot of consumers and drinkers of this whiskey, of whiskey. But what way I've said, and you're having a bit of a laugh or Ryan and all that, but I've always said sharp elbows and stuff like that. Every single person that's come into this room has brought their whiskey and gone to an effort and a length to bring whiskey along with them. And you guys were the first ever people to do that for us. So I would say thank you very much to Woodrow's of Edinburgh.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having us.
That's it.
Simmer down.
It's no pish. It's no pish. But for you guys, how's it been? How's your year been so far?
It's been Busy. We've been very, very busy. So
Is that just answering lawyers' letters, or
one controversy at a time?
But like we got a chance to have a look in your warehouse, and we saw also the next step for Woodrow's of Edinburgh, the Jane Street brand that you'll be bringing out, which is really exciting as well, because you're branching into a sort of different area. You're moving into that, but really, really exciting. But talk us through the dram that we've got now.
Right, so it's a 13-year-old Glengoyne spirit drink. It's single malt spirit drink.
We allowed to say that, definitely. Greg, we allowed to say that.
It's on the label, so.
It's all right. I'm recording. This is a podcast. We record every episode.
I need a better lawyer. And it's at 57.4%. It's been majority of his life in a refill hogshead, and it's been re-racked into a first fill PX core cask for 2 years. So it's just a nice dram.
It's a lovely dram. It's a lovely dram, and there's a man who's going to sell it for us. We were looking at it and going, right, Angus, Ross, we need a brand ambassador to do our job for us. And I'm going, well, we've had a lot of brand ambassadors on the podcast, but there's a particular person that we know very, very well who would be very, very good at selling this. I once described this man as the doyen of brand ambassadors. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for Mr. Mark Thompson! Where's your ducks?
I have to say, you know how Chaz just came up, but Woody spent an entire night talking to Chaz, thinking he was Mark Thompson. An entire night.
Do you know that really stole my thunder? Because you've left it right to the end, I was going to do the old Oliver Reed Parkinson interview where he comes up at the end with the pint spilling it everywhere. I can't top that. That was brilliant, Chaz.
But Mark, first of all, but before I have to say, like I've said it, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast directly. There's a long time ago, I tried another podcast about public speaking and communication called How You Say It. It's still available, actually. You can listen to that.
It's got about 8 downloads, I think.
It's got about 8. It's still got 8 downloads that it started. But one of the things I decided to do was we met for the very first time at a tasting that Ross and Cam put on at Scotch. And that was also, and this is where it all comes round in circles, which is fascinating. That was also the same tasting that Chuck Kerr came out with the wanky tasting note, cola cubes, and
you had to mend that friendship, didn't you?
Yeah,
you had to mend that friendship.
And it's all very nice, but at the same time, I sat there, and it was yourself, Sarah Berardi, and Jodie Buchan, and it was about brand ambassadors, and we sat in Diggers in the Snug, and you guys said, "God, there's something in this." About and I actually sent that raw.
How wrong we were.
you sent that raw, if it's unreleased, to me as I was driving up to Tom and Tal for my brother-in-law's stag do, who's
well
in the
pronounced.
building there over there. Well pronounced. I've honed it now. And I popped into Glenfiddich on the way up because I had such a great experience at your tasting, and I bought a couple of bottles, one of the handful 15-year-olds.
We've got 5 minutes, Angus.
Tremendous. No. But I said to Graeme, there's legs in this podcast you've been talking to me about.
And it made Angus and I decide that actually maybe we should look at doing a whiskey podcast. We had talked about it, we'd looked at it, and we'd asked Cameron Ewan a lot if he would come on. But he kept saying no to us, so eventually it was Ross that said, "I'll come on your podcast." And that, you know what? Thank God he did. No offense to Cam, but Ross has given us some absolutely fantastic moments. But Mark, you were. I'll say this genuinely. There was a bit there where we said there's something to do. There's something in this with yourself, and that was on that day I called you the doyen of brand ambassadors, right? And now you're working for Woody and Megan as a brand ambassador in the Whisky Stories Podcast tonight.
That's news to me.
To sell this dram.
Right, just for tonight.
To sell this dram. All right. But tonight, don't worry. No. To sell this dram.
I have no invoice set up for that one.
Send your invoice to Graeme.
But talk us through. I can't do tasting notes. I can't do all this. Talk us through the spirit drink.
I'm glad you've asked me to at least represent, because, and I'm also glad you've given me a bit of a heads up, because you only told me tonight I was doing this. So one of the great things, any Speyside whiskey like that, Glenelgyn, around Elgin, Glenmurray, Inchgours, all those whiskies that come through there, they're typically in American oak. And they'll give this wonderful, the new make is what you want to hold on to. You know, anybody that's in the room that knows whiskies, your new make is your DNA, and you can play around with casks and you can move stuff around and be funky and be modern. But if you start to lose sight of your distillery character, this is the danger area, the grey lines. And for me, one fan. It's typically my life, by the way. One fan. When I was speaking to the guys, Graeme had said it's a PX cask. I was like, oh, fuck. I don't like PX cask because I think it's the one thing. When I worked for Glenfiddich for 10 years, we'd do lots of competitions and bartenders would be throwing PX sherry in there. And it's a very powerful, very rich flavour profile. And it's really difficult to work with. And it will take a distillery character and just spread sweetness across the top of it. And if your main character is lightness and fruit and orchard fruit, PX will demolish that very quickly. However, this, and having heard Woody actually say what it is, refill into first fill into quarter cask, right?
And it's American oak
all
as well.
American oak all the way through. As soon as I nosed it, in my head I'm thinking raisins and dark sweet toffee notes. Actually, what I got was raw peanuts, a really dry nutty note, and a delicate, and that's the key for this. It was a delicate sweetness, and it doesn't overtake the whiskey at all, neither on the nose or on the palate. I think it's actually. There's still Glenelgyn in there, there's no doubt about it. You've got that coastal, salty pear note underneath, but and I'm talking raw peanuts, not dry roasted, not salted, Whole Foods of Broughton Street. You know, it's like good peanuts. And it's that soft, nutty, almost creamy note you get in just under the nose. And the PX has done a job. It's pulling some sweetness in there, but in a way that's complementary instead of smothering. I think I do genuinely believe it's a great whiskey.
I already liked it, but I like it more now.
No.
You're many drams deep, boy, aren't you?
No.
And very little sleep.
He's good, eh? He's good, eh? No, Ross, I have to say, I spoke to a couple of your colleagues, because we tried a sample of this. I spoke to a couple of your colleagues, and Eduardo said to me, Ross, I'm not doing his accent.
No, do his accent, Graeme.
Ross is raging. Ross is raging. Big shout there to the group there. He says, and he said that you were, because you're not a big fan of Glenelgyn.
Do you know, I have been experiencing psychosis in the form of hearing my older Italian colleague just go, Glenelgyn. And I've been buying these Glenelgyns for no real reason. We tried a couple of cask samples. Started with a Ben Nevis, which was almost a bottle. It was a really interesting Ben Nevis, which I liked. But then we had a Dalyuen option. We had an old grain option, and we had this. And you and I sat outside of Tiles in St Andrews Square.
Yeah.
And all I can hear is Glenelgyn. And as soon as I tasted it, I said, "That's the one. That is the dram." 13 years old, a distillery that's totally underrated. A bottler that's totally underrated, but a fantastic bottler.
It's just as well that it wasn't named after the village it was from. It'd be Glenfogwart. Which sounds like a Harry Potter thing, doesn't it?
Why do we say that on the label? Distilled at Glenfogwart.
Fogwart. You imagine Glenfogwart. The Fogwart.
But I just thought it was an excellent dram. And Graeme, go and tell, how many bottles in this outturn?
Right, so we have 50 bottles available, okay, but we have 25 litres available tonight to get, not 69, right, but basically it's a case of, tonight it'll be spirit drink, then the cask will be rolled back into a bonded warehouse where it'll be bottled and it'll be available online as
where will it be available, Graeme?
It'll be available on Woodrow's of Edinburgh's website, so you'll be able to buy it there, postage and packaging available, etc., etc. But tonight, for one night only, you have an opportunity for £65. You'll get a chance to buy a bottle of this hand-filled bottle.
That's almost free.
Take it home tonight.
Take it home tonight, finish it tomorrow, and buy a bottle online for whiskey. Or what to do is, I think what would be really worthwhile doing is actually buying 2 bottles, buying one which is the spirit drink and buying one which is the whiskey, and then trying them side by side.
Then you should buy 4.
Yeah, you should buy
Keep
4.
2, drink 2.
You need to keep 2 as well, yeah. Well, but look, it's
What do you think of the dram?
lovely.
You like it?
Do you think it would have sold better if it put Jake Adcock and Mike Brown on the label? But look, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get chucked out of here at Unamas. What a night we've had. Thank you so much to everybody who's come along. Thank you to everybody that's been part of the Whisky Stories. It's the Whisky Stories Big Birthday Bash. Ross, brilliant. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for Woven, Hazy Drams. Let's hear it for Greg.
Hazy.
We've got InchDairnie. Let's hear it for Scott Sneddon. We've got Conor O'Keefe, Ryan from Tri-Carragh, Jake and Mike, and of course Woody and Megan with the first fill ever that we've done the podcast. Brilliant. Thank you so much. You've been listening to Whisky Stories Podcast. Thank you to everybody here for supporting us and being part of the story. Thank you. Cheers. God bless. Safe journey home. Good night.
Cheers.
Thank you for selling my house.